Dal, I'm telling you, Lowe's beats Home Depot hands down every single time, especially for mechanics hand tools. You can't beat Kobalt, even their power tools. Plus, they don't have those goofy handwritten signs. Changed my mind.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Justin again. As always, thanks for watching my channel. Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about Lowe's and then we're going to talk about Home Depot, which is better and why between the two.
All right, so let's see if Clay is actually right. Does Lowe's have more to offer for mechanics than Home Depot? Now, we've been in Lowe's before, but that was a few months back before they were going to start pumping the shelves up. So we're walking around today to see what's new, what's the latest, what's the greatest, and what do they exactly got on the shelf, and if they truly do beat Home Depot hands down. So kicking it off, we're over here in the beginning of the store looking at some mechanics tool sets, not just from Craftsman, but also from Kobalt. Now, I was told from the Den of Tools that they are going to start probably minimizing the amount of hand tools that Kobalt has to offer. And I learned on VCG Construction that they actually are going to keep the power or the cordless lineup going. How true this is, I guess we'll see in the later months, but I still don't see Kobalt completely going away from the mechanical realm. Really digging some of their toolboxes that they have. I saw one that was a pretty heavy duty setup where there was no wheels, but would be perfect for a garage. Like if you wanted to set it up and you didn't want to roll it around, it was a one-time setup, boom, right on the ground, no wheels, no worrying about it. Set it up and run it. It looked nice to me. So now we're gonna walk around and see what other kind of little goodies we can see. Plenty of screwdrivers, mixture between Craftsman, Kobalt. Now we're going to come down here where they have some of the more organizational stuff, which we've seen in the past. We're looking for new stuff. Still rocking some of the channel lock tools, Irwin, some vice grip stuff. Did see some Milwaukee, but again, mostly Craftsman on this end, and I think that's because it's a Craftsman-driven store. Let's take a look at some of the cordless options that Craftsman comes out with. They have some pretty sick stereos. Look, they even got a vacuum. You saw guys have seen the Milwaukee vacuum, I'm sure by now. Their half-inch gun and their 3/8 driver didn't even look half bad, looking pretty beefy. Wondering if they can stack up against the Milwaukee, especially running that 20-volt battery, lithium-ion battery versus the 18. Looking at it, pretty fair pricing too, looking at about 120 bucks instead of the, what, 360 or 200 bucks, I think, for the Milwaukee. I could be mistaken. I know that you can buy them for a steal of a deal on Amazon. Some of the stores, you might be able to get the bare tool for around $230 or so. You guys will have to let me know down in the comments how much your Milwaukee setup goes. But look at this contractor kit for 400 bucks. I mean, palm sanders, skill saws, you name it. Look, still have a nice fair amount of Kobalt between sockets, ratchets, wrenches, mechanic sets. We're going to see some of their torque wrenches here in a minute. I think they even have some of the tech angle stuff as well. I really like the torque wrenches. In fact, I used to own a half-inch. I may and I have considered going back to buying a half-inch again. Tape measures for days. You need a tape measure, they got them. Now, they're not free like the ones at Harbor Freight, but they're pretty nice. Here's their impact sockets, and from what I'm told, they're going to start producing more and more of these tools here in the US, and they're not going to all be made in China anymore. Check a look at these organizers though. I was pretty impressed by them. I was trying to avoid spending money, so I didn't pick them up on this time around, but dude, some pretty nice organizers between 1/4 inch, 3/8 drive, and 1/2 inch. Thoroughly impressed with the style that they came out with as far as their organizers. I'm really digging it. It's kind of got that, you could probably make it a magnetic base is what I'm thinking. You know, it's a pretty nice organizational tray. They also have some of these ones with the wrenches that you can put in, some screwdrivers, the twist and lock, magnetic rails, etc. Look at the individual sockets and wrench organization idea and design that they have though. Little individual drawers that you can actually pull out, and we'll pull one out here in a minute, where you can actually have everything categorized to what it is that you're looking for and price tagged specifically. So they're starting to fill them up. I like this style better because I can actually look at it like a hardware shelf and be like, yeah, man, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Pull it open, and they're not like scattered everywhere because people have a tendency of mix matching them when they're hanging. I was looking at their ratchets. I almost bought a ratchet today. I was so half tempted. Look at some of these ratchets though. You can buy square handle, the new square handle design, the locking mechanism. They had a swivel one. Now the swivel one next to the one that's in my hand right now, I almost jumped on. 30 bucks. I'm like, dude, that thing was phenomenal. I almost got it. You'll probably see it later on here in the video. Mirrors, scrapers, magnets, pry bars, the striking type of pry bars. They also had these band style things. If you work on GMC or Sierra oil changes, you're gonna want those. The Cummins, you know, the 6-7 going through the wheel well, those band style oil filter wrenches just come in handy. Big old wrench sets, smaller wrench sets. I mean, they had wrench sets for days already put into an organization tray. So how cool is it that you don't have to buy a wrench organizer because it already comes with it? I thought that was a phenomenal idea. Bigger mechanic sets, smaller mechanic sets, Allen sets, tool chest sets. They just had, the shelves were so much more fuller this time around, going down to Cat City to take a look and see what it is they got. But man, they had a lot of good stuff. Now let's take a look at some of the Kobalt lineup stuff they have with the cordless. This is a lot of really good tools here. I've heard a lot of good things about Kobalt and their 20-volt system. 50% more power, 50% of the cost. VCG Construction seems to like them. Look, they even have a vacuum too, which is pretty comparable to the Milwaukee or even the Craftsman. I haven't tried the vacuums yet, but I mean, like I said, I got a rigid shop vac that plugs into like 110 or 120 and it works phenomenally well and it's perfect. There is some tight areas that you might want one of those portable ones, but I mean, let's face it, if you want something heavy duty with a lot of suction, you're gonna step it up to a big vac. Now let's look at some of the DeWalt. Big fan of DeWalt, or at least I used to be until I fell in love with rigid. They have a super and superior cordless lineup set here. I mean, they're starting to stack it up. I think they're even running a 20 volt or maybe even, yeah, I think it's a 20 volt lithium ion battery. Phenomenal products. Everyone's saying that they love their DeWalt. I haven't been back to DeWalt since the iCAD days, but man, they were even looking pretty good. Who doesn't love and appreciate a clearance shelf? Here's a little ratchet I almost picked up. Swivel head design. I was like, yeah, man, my teeth are starting to slip on my Snap-on. I might go back to this. Not sure I dig the square handle, you know, my arthritic fingers and whatnot. I'm getting old, man. Your boy's getting old. Let's go over to Home Depot now and see what they got. All right, so now we're over here at the Home Depot. You guys pretty much know what to expect, but now we're down here in the Palm Springs, Cathedral City area. A little bit bigger lineup than the one that I have up here in my neck of the woods. Big Husky toolboxes, magnetic backing, USB, power adapter, easy glide drawers, nice non-slip matting on the inside. Plenty of drawer depth if you're looking for that. I think Husky is a phenomenal way of going and a good way to save some money, especially if you're looking for a DIY toolbox. They also make it in red. They didn't have a red one up here, so I thought that was nice to, instead of seeing this flat matte black, I could finally see another color, and red was a nice option. Wish they did other colors, but you know, there's a lot of people to compete against. They had some sockets. You guys have seen this before, some impact sockets, some mechanic sets, not very many, some of them on clearance, some of them, you know, still in their original cases with the Allens and the star bits and whatnot, but kind of limited here as far as like what you have for sockets, wrenches, and ratchets, to be honest. I'm not sure if my Home Depot has a little bit more to offer than this one, but it is what it is. Here's that individual socket wrench area that I was talking about where stuff gets mix matched and everything. The one thing I can say is at least the 6-point deep and shallow sockets, they're both 6-point. You're not hunting and pecking for a 12-point shallow, 6-point deep like Harbor Freight still likes to do. I wish they would change that. We'll see if they do in the coming months. Still rocking some Husky, Kobalt, and not Kobalt, I'm sorry. Husky, Milwaukee, and DeWalt. Thank you. Jesus Christ, right on the top of my tongue. Any rate, I'm a big fan of Home Depot, okay, because Home Depot is the closest one to me. Lowe's is a little bit farther. But look at some of these fans, man. These fans would be great for a shop environment. I know it doesn't beat a swamp cooler, and some of you guys probably got central heating and air conditioning and whatnot. I don't. Fans are a man's best friend. Here was something that I was actually kind of impressed with. So you guys know I had a Rubbermaid cart. Love the Rubbermaid cart. Look what Husky has done with this plastic cart, though. They've made a cabinet so you can put some tools in here. They got little tiny drawers you could pull open, put some tools. Now it's only like a 20 to 25 pound weight capacity per drawer. That's not a lot of weight, so you're not gonna wanna put big old hammers in there, but still pretty nice. And you got the roll up the 110 cable here in the back, so if you got power cables.
Well, I suppose that answers that question, doesn't it? Lowe's definitely has more mechanic tools or more tools to offer for the DIY and at-home mechanic. So, bar none, I would say if I had to choose between Lowe's and Home Depot, I would say definitely go to both. No, but seriously, Lowe's would probably be the better place to go. Home Depot, not too bad, a little outdated, a little bit more empty shelves, especially with the new Craftsman lineup coming into play over at Lowe's. Their shelves are just filling up full of tools. So, all right, Clay, you're right about this one. Lowe's for the win. I actually like the hot dog stand too, but they weren't there today. See you guys back at the house.
See there, Dale? Sometimes you just have to believe me. Told you, Lowe's is better.
All right, so Clay was absolutely 100% correct, man. Look, Lowe's has much more to offer than Home Depot when it comes to mechanic tools. You guys saw it firsthand. We did a little walk around to see what new stuff that Lowe's was starting to fill up with. I knew they said they were gonna start filling the shelves up a little bit more in June or July. I chose to wait until now to go back to take a look and revisit how many tools they had. My God, man, if they keep pumping up the shelves full of the Craftsman lineup like this, I can almost guarantee you we're gonna start seeing a little bit more Craftsman reviews on my point, because I'm sitting here going, yeah, man, yeah. They had a lot of really nice stuff. So Clay, you right. That's all I got. Thanks as always for watching my channel. Cheers to those of you that have your beers. I hope you're enjoying your weekend as much as I am. And if you haven't checked out Clay's channel, it'll be down in the description. Make sure to head on over, subscribe, hit that bell so you can be notified when either he or I do videos. See you guys next time. Cheers and deuces.